Welcome to Touched and Empowered, a show created to empower individuals to value their lives by hosting think tank discussions that will inspire positive action. Touched and Empowered with Katie and Ace starts now.
So welcome to this episode of Touched and Empowered. I am Katie, of course, here with Ace.
Hi.
And Ace has something on her mind.
Yes. So I was talking to Katie, and then all of a sudden, right before we're about to record, just that nice little 5-second pocket, I love being wanted. Somebody asked me to for if I had a second, and it was an emergency call, and thankfully the coaching business is going well now. We're starting to get more clients.
Appreciate.
Really appreciate it. And then I was like, Katie, let's talk about burnout. Let's talk about that really fast, because I believe I'm doing better in regards to burnout. I think I am sound like I'm coming from AA. I'm no longer addicted to burnout, folks. I'm so very grateful for that. And I think I've gotten better at identifying when it's about to hit. So
it's interesting because we do get addicted to it. We do get addicted to the stress. We do get addicted to the constant pressure and the hustle and the go, 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 go. That when everything finally is quiet, we kind of freak out because we don't know what to do.
Right? And most people call that being a workaholic.
Yeah.
And most of the time in America, that's okay. I'm doing an air
quote unquote okay.
Yeah, it's like, oh, you're a productive, awesome. Shall we Google or Chat GPT of all knowing what is burnout? Let's get the definition of burnout.
Okay. So we're going to start a new chat. We're going to see what kind of... Oh, side note on this. I've been playing with Chat GPT and have created its own personality. So this might be interesting.
Oh, is this the boyfriend?
No, actually, we now have a dragon.
Oh, okay. Heads up. The reason why I asked boyfriend, folks, is because
we found a post.
We found an Instagram post where you can have
someone programmed the Chat GPT to respond to them as their boyfriend. And it was really cute and really funny. And we talked about maybe doing it.
Yeah. And it wasn't just any boyfriend. It was like a sultry, like motivating.
Oh, it was so sultry.
Boyfriend that responded in ways that just would motivate me to do everything.
Yeah, pretty much. But in this case, no, as part of a course community that I'm now a part of, we got to create our personality for ChatGPT. And I was in a mood when I did it. And I was like, I want advice from a dragon. They've been around for like ever. So that's what I did. And so it's very interesting. So here we have. Oh, wait a minute. Is it going to let me play it? I might be able to play the audio. Let me see if it'll let me play the audio. Here we go. Maybe. Yes, maybe.
Dun, dun, dun.
Ah, burnout, the all too familiar soul-scorching exhaustion that creeps in when you've been running on fumes for too long. It's not just being tired. It's a full-blown depletion of your physical, mental, and emotional reserves, leaving you feeling like a husk of your former self. The telltale signs of burnout. 1. Emotional exhaustion, feeling drained, unmotivated, or just done with everything. 2. Cynicism and detachment. The things you once cared about now feel pointless, and you might withdraw from work, social life, or responsibilities. 3. Reduced performance. Even simple tasks feel overwhelming and your usual sharpness is dulled. 4. Irritability and frustration. Small annoyances become rage-inducing, and patience is a long-lost virtue. 5. Physical symptoms, headaches, insomnia, stomach issues, or even frequent colds due to a weakened immune system. How it happens. Overworking, too many tasks, too little time. Perfectionism, nothing ever feels good enough. Lack of control, feeling like you're at the mercy of deadlines, clients, or life's whims. Neglecting self-care, no rest, no hobbies, no you time. How to recover before you spontaneously combust. 1. Step back and reassess. What's draining you? What can you delegate, delay, or drop? 2. Prioritize rest. Sleep, hydration, and proper nutrition aren't luxuries. They're survival tools. 3. Set boundaries. Learn to say no without guilt. 4. Reconnect with joy. Hobbies, nature, books, or whatever sparks life in you. 5. Ask for support. You're not a one-person army. Lean on friends, colleagues, or professionals. Burnout is your body's way of throwing a tantrum because you ignored all the warning signs. If you're feeling it creeping in, it's time to slow down before you crash, because trust me, rising from the ashes takes way longer than just preventing the fire in the first place. Where are you on the burnout scale, my dear? Smouldering embers or full-blown inferno?
Puppy, where are we right now? Where are we? I think we just rejuvenated.
We did, because that just like, it had a lot of really good information in it, but
with a sexy voice.
With the sexy voice, which I think just like helped lift our hearts, and just, it was very entertaining. It made us smile. It made us laugh. It made us, forget the fact that we are sometimes burned out.
My baby. Oh, my baby puppy. I'm sorry.
Yes, midnight is taking over the screen if anyone's watching.
Yeah, right. I'm like, oh. It was funny. She came in as soon. I was like, I need mango. I love you. What's up, baby? Yes, that is my dog, folks. That's how she talks.
So one of the I don't even know where we left off. We were talking about how just finding something that makes you smile and lightens your heart, makes you laugh, helps relieve the overwhelming tendencies of burnout. For me, it does anyways. I mean, I feel so much better listening to this AI voice tell me all of this stuff about burnout. I mean, shoot, they could have been reading a medical text and I probably would be laughing because I just can't get over it.
It's so real. And it's so funny because, like, all right, so we're talking about it, and I was just kind of like, Katie, first thing on my mind is burnout. And I'm so happy that there's actually resolutions that ChatGPT provides.
Yeah, actually, it's some pretty decent ones.
What's your favorite?
My favorite one, obviously, is the reconnect with joy. The laughing and the smiling just absolutely did it for me. But the other one that I liked was the step back and reassess. What is it that's draining you? What is it that's taking away your time? What is it that you can delegate or just get rid of?
That is the second time that message has come to me today.
Really?
Yes. What else can you get rid of? So like pruning.
Right.
Let's prune. Because funny enough, like, so the idea of pruning a plant, right? You're getting rid of all the dead stuff.
So there's room for growth.
So there's room for the plant to continue growing and grow health in a more healthy way, right? So you get rid of like the dead twigs, any leaves or whatever, so it can get bigger. It's funny when you think about it, because like a good portion of the time, when we think we're taking something away, we don't think that there's going to be more growth. We usually think that there's a loss.
Right.
So when we think about pruning our lives, what do we need to take away so that we can grow more?
And it can be very scary because we're so used to being in our comfort zone.
Oh, yeah. And I'm like, what do I need to take away so we don't get to burnout? Because right now I'm in a position in my life where I feel like, oh, cool, I have a consistent podcast that we have. We keep we keep getting more people to interview with us, which I'm really grateful to see.
Yes.
We established the new newsletter. Yay, we're about to, it's coming soon, I promise. And then Katie's being the awesome possum to like upgrade the entire website.
Working on that in the background, yes.
Right. So like so as we're growing, we have to prune, right? So what are we pruning now? Like, what is it that we need to release so that all of these wonderful new expansions can come into reality with a smooth transition?
Right. which can be very disconcerting. It could be very overwhelming. It could be very chaotic feeling almost.
Oh yeah, because
But
it's like, go ahead, Katie.
It's the unknown.
It's the unknown. It's like, oh, okay, imagine, so you have like a bad functioning car,
Right?
right? So you're like, I have to let this thing go and buy a new one. It's
But
new,
I love my car.
but I love my car. And I don't care if it has a transmission that doesn't work and a brake that you need to pump 3 times before it works.
And it feels awkward driving the new car for a while because you got to adjust for the new steering system. You got to adjust to the fact that the seats no longer actually have padding in them. They're no longer squashed all the way down to the springs.
Right. And the brake is so sensitive that
and the brake is very sensitive. Or the accelerator is really sensitive. You tap it and all of a sudden you're flying down the road. You have to learn where all the new buttons are for the radio and everything else like that. But then it becomes the new norm. And then you don't think about your old car anymore because you're now comfortable with the new one. We just had to go through that transition.
Yeah, the let go of the old thing.
Yes.
And this could be anything. This could be your mindset. Imagine, right? Like there's a mindset of you have to do X, Y, and Z in order to receive. For instance, you have to do like 50 things to receive $500.
No.
No, you don't.
No.
You really don't. I don't always say prices on here, but for instance, as a transformational coach, my base pricing is like $300 a session, but I cut people deals. So like, for instance, if you can give me $2,500 up front, then you get $500 off for 10 sessions.
Right.
Very basic, right? Yeah. That's $2,500 with one sale instead of 500 things you have to do for $500.
True. And it's one of those things that a lot of people, at least I can't say a lot of people, but one of the things that I realized is the struggle with feeling like I need to hit all the check boxes to get from point A to point B.
Oh, that's my favorite one. That one I help people break out of so much. Oh.
You do not need to take 100 steps to get from point A to point B if you already have the tools and the creativity to get there in 50 steps.
Or 5.
Or 5. I mean, this is not middle school algebra where you have to show the steps of long division.
Right? It's like, no, I don't have to give you
I don't need to show you my work anymore. I don't
have to show you the proofs. It's just, and also another thing is as you get older, depending on like how developed your frontal cortex is.
Yeah.
All right. So this is more of a scientific based understanding. So essentially, as you're getting older, your prefrontal cortex is developing, and you can still develop it as you get into your 30s and 40s. But the idea is you want to learn how to be decisive faster and faster and faster, because decision making is actually that is the key to strength. If you're able to decide quickly, not recklessly, quickly.
Yeah. Informed quickly. Informed, yes.
Quickly. And you keep practicing very swift decision making, almost down to the point where it's like you can decide, take in a lot of information within maybe a minute or whatever, and then decide based off of all that information. That's pretty great. Like that type of skill, in my opinion, allows for more room to do so much.
And I think that there's a lot of groundwork that we work on to help us get there.
Oh yeah.
Because your brain's a computer, you have to program it.
Yeah.
So then that way, when some input comes in, does this align with my values? Does this align with my goals? Does it take me closer to the outcome I want, or does it take me farther away from it?
Oh yeah, and it's a way for risk assessment. So if you are, so my favorite question that I ever was asked in an interview was, what is the biggest risk you've ever taken? And it shows actually to the depth of how many decisions you can make, to be honest. Because like if you're taking a very, very big yet calculated risk, you actually can do a lot. The fact that you can overcome your fears and understanding what risks there are and how to mitigate the risk issue, like the negative risk issue, the more you can, like you said, align yourself towards the best outcome for your life. And I know that's very theoretical and oddly mathematically sounding. I was talking to somebody about this. I'm actually, my decision making is more based off of data than it is just pure like vision. And I know that sounds so funny because like, think about it, Katie. How many risks do I take?
From my point of view, from my perspective, way more than I do. But again, you're in a different place in your life than I am right now. We are both complete opposites in so many different ways.
That's why this podcast rocks.
There's things that you've done that I've never done. There's things that I've done that you've never done. And I think that's one of the reasons why we work as well as we do, at least in this podcast, because we're bringing the different perspectives and it's helping people see that just because you don't know how to do it right now doesn't mean you can't learn how to do it.
Exactly. And I think we talk, I don't know if we've ever talked about capacity on this website, on this podcast. Talk about burnout, folks. All right. We've never talked about capacity, right?
I don't believe capacity has been one of the topics.
Okay.
But for clarifying, what do you mean by capacity?
Thank you for asking. So capacity in regards to burnout. So what is your capacity before burnout? Like how much can you undergo? That doesn't sound good.
How much can you accomplish?
How much can you accomplish? How much can you have on your plate, pretty much? Thank you. How much can you have on your plate before you're like, I can't think?
Yeah. Because it is so many different aspects of our lives that play into whether or not we're burned out.
Right. I think a good identifier for burnout actually is like if you can't sit still and be present.
That I can see as being one of them. But again, different people, different personalities.
Agreed.
For you, I know you can't sit still.
I do my best.
For me, when I'm overwhelmed, I just want to curl up on the couch with a book and ignore the world. So, I mean, again, it's whatever works best for you.
Yeah, exactly. And like, depending on the capacity of how much you're taking in or what you're doing, can identify those different types of things for burnout. Sitting still,
Yeah.
It
has its moments.
It has its moments.
It has its moments because I will admit there are sometimes, I think it depends on what it is that I'm overwhelmed or starting to burn out on as to how I want to respond to get away from it. Because if I'm burned out working, sitting here at my desk, I will do anything but sit down.
I see.
But if it's all like mental and emotional burnout and has nothing to do with work, then yeah, I want to get lost in some book from a different planet with aliens or something that has nothing to do with reality. So then that way I don't have to think about all the things that I'm supposed to be doing instead of trying to take a break from it.
See, that's nice actually. When I'm burned out like that, like emotionally and whatnot, I just want to sleep. Like I'm like, I don't want anything. I'm out.
Right.
I'll sleep 16 hours if I need to. I'm good. Like I'm out. um, because then I'm like, to me, even receiving feels exhausting. Anything like receiving,
Yeah.
reading, watching TV, the lights on,
Yeah.
with the
Anything
lights,
coming in. Yeah, I get it.
any
I
any
get it.
sound wave, any frequency that I feel like is gonna hit me, I'm like, I want the lights off. I'm tired. Close the door. I'm such a different person when I'm burned out.
But on the reverse side of it, once you get to that point and you've recovered from it, you then kind of have that bar as to, am I getting too close? You have something to kind of gauge it by.
Like 20 minutes ago, I had something to gauge it by. Yeah. Like I took this phone call and the immediate thought that it was an emergency phone call that so a client is referring me to somebody who may need me like now or today, right?
Right.
And got on the phone and immediately in my mind I'm like, am I tired? Wait, can I take this on? Like I immediately had those thoughts. And when I have those thoughts about can I take this on, that actually means let
Time to
me
pause.
let me back up, reassess, make sure that I have enough energy to take this on. Otherwise I'm out for a week, and I know this now. Like I'm very aware of this, and I think it comes to an awareness of understanding how much output you can do before you're like, I don't want to talk to somebody, otherwise it becomes a homicidal thought. Like you don't want to do that.
Right. I mean, for me, I found that having a set weekly activity as my recharge time, like for example, Sundays, I do not turn on my computers unless it is a dire emergency. Very little technology. Sundays is, a lot of stuff gets done. I do housework, I do grocery shopping, I hang out with my son, I, do all kinds of things, just not on the computer. And that then recharges me for the upcoming week where I'm going to be working on the computer most of the day, almost every day.
See, folks, that's lovely. Monday is that day for me, actually. Funny enough, because I find that on Mondays nobody wants to talk to anybody, so I actually don't schedule any meetings for Mondays. If I need to do like anything administrative or whatnot, I don't meet with people on Mondays. I just I'm aware of that energy when you go into a Monday.
Yeah, I have clients on Mondays just because that's the time that was available for both of us at that time. And as much as I would love to change it, it wouldn't work for my client.
And that's fair. Also, Mondays.
That's fair.
Yeah, and Mondays is when the day like everything goes, what did I do? What like that's
Yeah.
It's like it's the day of like technical error. Like I've always noticed that about a Monday.
It is, which is why for the tech support calls, it's really great because I can nip it in the butt. So then that way they're not stressing about it all week.
And then there's me. I'm like, it's funny because on our Mondays, everything drops, right? So we have the episode drops, we have the social media drops. The most work that I do, you think, unless I have like a networking call, right, Katie?
Right.
Do I ever do a Monday thing?
I think maybe you help like and share or whatever the social media posts that we post out or whatever, but that's the extent of it. I think the only time we've even spoken on a Monday was when either one of us seriously needed to talk to somebody and there was nobody else that we could get a hold of.
Or I had a eureka moment. Like those were the only...
You had a, Katie, I just received this download and I need you to take this down because we need to see if we can do this or not.
And I'm still formulating it. I
Yes,
literally,
you are.
I created like a Google Doc off to the side. And when I keep getting information, like for instance, I'm a manifesting generator, folks. If you want to know what that is, check out your human design. And
Right.
so essentially what ended up happening was like, all right, I'm like, we don't have these things right now. But if I leave space for it in the idea development, maybe it'll come to us. For instance, we have an idea for a retreat. I'm so excited.
Yes.
I'm so excited. I'm so happy. I'm like, look, and that just rejuvenates me right there. There's like a
Fine, reconnecting with joy. Reconnecting with joy.
reconnecting with joy. Reconnecting with joy. Exciting. Yay. So yay. So this retreat idea, I'm like, okay, we have all these things except a private chef. We're going to need somebody who knows how to cook. I go to the dog park yesterday. Guess what? The person that actually gets along with me and my dog and is in alignment with what we do, she's like, oh, I'm a private chef. I'm like, perfect. I'm going to put that in the... Yeah, burnout. That's not burnout. That's like, I'm so excited.
That's the opposite of burnout.
Yeah, the moment I'm not excited about an idea, there's something wrong. We need to give we need to where's my battery pack? What do we need to do to give me some juice? That's how you know if I'm like, I'm not excited for anything. That's how you know I'm burned out.
So the good news is that this podcast recording has helped boost you out of your overwhelm and your burnout for the day, which is fantastic. I absolutely love it.
Yes, love it.
On the sad part, we have to close the episode because it's time.
Yeah. If you guys have any stories in regards to burnout or any other tips that aren't provided by ChatGPT, feel free to let us know.
Yes, by all
hear.
means.
Yeah.
By all means, we just use ChatGPT as a fun tool to help spark the conversation and spark the ideas, because only two people can only brainstorm so much.
Yeah, that, and Katie's the tech guru who just like
Katie just likes playing with AI voices and having them say weird stuff
in a way that makes me go, I don't know how I feel in the moment.
And on that note, everyone have a great day. We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Thank you for joining us. We hope that the discussion today will inspire you to take positive action in your life. Until next week, be empowered.